everyone. Hey, congratulations on this holiday movie, Merry Good Enough.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so
All of,
much.
we could consider it as a holiday movie. This is all about timing, isn't it? So
Ooh.
let's ask that obligatory question is what initially attracted you to this project? But I'm going to start with Dan, since Dan, you directed this film. How did you get on board with this project?
Sure. I directed it along with Caroline Keene, who wrote the script. We'd worked together on a movie in the maybe 6 years ago called Honeydew. She was a script supervisor on that, and we've been wanting to work on a project together for a while. And this one resonated with me a lot, just because I felt like it was a pretty unique approach to a holiday film.
How about for you, Comfort?
It's a similar story, actually. I met Caroline on the set of another film I did called Paint, and she sent me the script at that time, and I just loved it. I thought it was such an honest take on the holidays, which, can be a little stressful, and everyone has their own specific family dynamic, and I felt like this was very relatable and real and very different. It's a very unique way to portray a Christmas film. It's unconventional. And so I loved it from the first time I read it, and I said to her, I hope this gets made. And then I think Dan was on the other side saying the same thing to her. And I give him so much credit for kind of finally pushing us all to make the film a year ago. And it's pretty incredible that it's an actual finished product now after having read the script 6 years ago or so and hoped that it got made. And now here we are talking about it. It's very surreal.
And finally, Joel.
I was sent the script from Marcia DeBonis, who was the woman in the elevator at the beginning of the film, and she worked on a show called Heels that I worked on with my wife. And I I read the script and I said, "This is really different. This isn't your typical Hallmark movie, and it's unique and it's kind of fun and it's a great role. It's something I'd like to play." And I asked my wife to read it, and she read it and she really liked it as well. And she gave me the okay to stay out on the road for another like week and a half, 2 weeks, because I had uh, I had been touring with a show I do, and so the thought of extending that even more was kind of scary. And then I got to the set to find out that Marcia DeBonis had already been shot out and that they had been working on this for a while. My character doesn't show up till halfway through the shoot, kind of thing. So it was fun to bond with everybody else then, because I didn't really know anybody.
Most excellent. So Dan, tell us about your approach on a film like this. How did you want to handle an ensemble cast?
Sure. Caroline and I, wanted to work with actors who understood the characters better than we did. And we were fortunate enough to, have these amazing talent come in and just kind of bring life to each of the characters in a way that I don't think we could have imagined.
Comfort, tell us about trying to connect with your character Cynthia for this film. Is she relatable to you?
She is. I mean, I think that as an actor, you're always looking for how you can kind of find your in with the character. And I think she and I are both actually very optimistic and have a sense of kind of trying to come in and fix a situation, maybe feeling like that's our role within a family dynamic. And so that was something I really related to with Cynthia, was that she, even though she comes across as a little bit caustic or abrasive sometimes, what she's coming from a place of optimism and deep love and wanting things to be what she views as normal. And I think the journey for her throughout the film is recognizing that maybe what her view of normal was doesn't have to be what her life is, and that's okay, and that's her journey, and that's unique to her, and that's okay. Like that's a good thing. And so I related to that, sort of the expectations versus reality that she has, and the way that she kind of comes in and feels like she wants to bring everyone together. There's actually a lot of positivity under there and optimism, and that was something that helped me get under her skin, I think, because I could really relate to it.
Joel, playing George, how how do you connect with the character like that? Especially, it almost seems like George was an outsider, but yet, he's technically a primary family member.
Uh, I said earlier, my father died when I was 5, so I didn't really have a strong father figure in my life. But I had 5 older brothers, and my brothers had a lot of cool friends and whatnot. It was more a character based on people that I dealt with that were older than me in that way. And he's kind of a guy who lives his own life, and the fact that his wife is missing is an opportunity to actually see his kids on a level playing field without her there. And there's got to be guilt there because he has left his family and moved on, kind of thing. So there was a lot to play in every role, and then things keep getting thrown at the character when he shows up. He's just there, let's have a good time. Let's not get too serious about this. And, things keep getting thrown at him. There's one line where I said, people used to get away more often back in the day. And that was a thing. But I had, some relatives that literally would take like a walkabout and, yeah, she's not here. It's been gone for a week. And it was not crazy back then. People just like, I've had it to here. You'll see me when I see you. And I've always kind of thought, well, that's probably what your mother's doing, because look at you. You're all something to deal with.
Dan, it is something to bring up. This film, not only it's about like a family getting together holidays, it's also basically the conflicts between family and so on. Tell us how you kind of navigate through a dark comedy, because technically a family member is missing and everyone's trying to do their best to get through those last few days of the holidays.
Yeah, I think it was a fun kind of line to ride, understanding when George, Joel's character, is so charismatic. He could kind of like pull the kids back into his world of comedy and fun, when their mom is missing and they are worried about her, and kind of riding that line of what's okay for, when it's okay for Lucy and her sister and her brother to kind of have a little bit of fun, even though they're somewhat worried about their mom.
Now, it's you guys have a lot of fun on the set too, especially playing games. What was it, on Christmas Eve or whenever that was? Dan, how did you want to direct the game playing with your actors? What was it? Was it all planned and scripted, or you just basically literally sat them down and let them play their games, their charades, and dance the night away?
Caroline had written a few scenes in with charades, a few characters that she wanted them to play, but I mean, basically we wrote down ideas in a bucket and they actually played charades. It was, I mean, we probably shot that scene for like 2 hours. It was so fun.
So fun.
They played charades and then danced, and they could probably speak more to how they approached their charades characters, but it was one of the most fun nights of filming for me, for sure.
Yes, Comfort. Yes, Joel. Speak about that night. How much fun it was, and how natural were you guys even acting?
No. Joel, go ahead.
I mean, we were dressed a little bit warmer than we wanted to be in that room for 2 hours, but because it's Christmas clothing. It was fun, and it was kind of a combination of charades and the game Celebrity, where you pull the names out of the hat.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a little of both. And the dancing was just kind of, well, this is a good vibe, give us some more music. We were just having fun at that point. We didn't have to have lines memorized, and we were just riffing and being family. And I would say the liquor wasn't real, but I don't remember. Was it real?
It wasn't.
But actually, Caroline and Dan suggested that we put some of our own charades clues in the bucket. So we took some time and went and wrote them down. And I remember being like, everyone says that the relationship between the siblings feels very real. Daniel, who plays the brother, wrote these clues that were so specific, like Julia Child fueling up her tank at Costco. It was like not just one word, it was doing a very specific person doing a very specific action in a very specific place. And I remember being like, Daniel, these are impossible. And like we had a nice little exchange moment of kind of frustration, which was very like sibling-like, I think. And so you really see those dynamics happening in real time as we're playing charades, that was sort of a thing that the brother, Tim would do. So it was a nice moment of like reality sinking in and melding in with the characters.
That is terrific to hear. Now, on a reality note, Christmas is just a few days away for all of us. What do you folks do on Christmas? And hopefully your family doesn't get into these type of squabbles during Christmas. We tend to reserve that for Thanksgiving, don't we? So I'll go in reverse order. Joel, go ahead.
Well, I came from a very big family, and then I've got 4 kids of my own. So now we're the old people that the children come to visit. But we have a weird tradition in that Christmas night we invite a lot of people that don't have family to our house, and we order up a whole bunch of Italian beefs from Portillo's, and we just everybody's Chicago style sits around and has Italian beef sandwiches, and whether you're inside or out of the house, we sing a lot of Christmas carols and drink a lot of liquor, and it's our weird little tradition.
Sounds like there's plenty of eggnog at Joel's place. How about for you, Comfort?
Well, let's see. My family does a similar thing on Christmas Eve where we're sort of inviting people from the neighborhood, whoever maybe needs a surrogate family that year, over to our house, and my parents go very big with the holiday decorations. Christmas is a very big deal in my family. And we really go, there's like blow up Santa in this corner, you have blow up ornaments that are like 3 feet long dangling above you. It's pretty intense, and laser lights. We go all out. And our other thing is that we make a gingerbread village every year. Oh yeah, this is some serious stuff. We make a gingerbread village every year that's themed. We pick the theme in advance and we make the village. And then when people come over at Christmas Eve, we're sort of like, look what we did. So this year, I think we might do a Barbie village, which is pretty exciting. But it's all around Christmas Eve. And then on Christmas Day, we just like eat a lot of cheese and drink wine, and it's pretty great.
What says more than Barbie than Barbie Village and laser lights?
Yeah, Christmas to me. Listen,
Right.
That's my normal.
Go ahead, Dan.
Sure, yeah, my family and my extended family, my kids, my sister and brother, their kids, we usually get together and have a meal, drink some wine. Always end up finding ourselves outside doing something in the freezing cold. And then then we go back in, play some carols and get silly. That's usually how it goes.
I almost forgot, Dan. Where was all this filmed? Because myself calling from California here, I felt the coldness.
It's nice to hear that. We definitely wanted that to come through. We shot it in and around Boston, so Boston, Salem, Lynn, Peabody, Wayland, Medford. We shot it in December last year, so all the Christmas lights and everything that's 99% real. All that was there.
Is it the choice based on convenience, or is it the fact that you want to basically get a setting that feels a lot more like Christmas?
We wanted it to feel really authentic and raw, and there's a sort of grit that exists in and around Boston that is a nice like contrast to how Christmas makes you feel. And we thought it would be special to shoot in Mass.
Most excellent. So what's up next for you folks? Comfort?
Mostly just promoting this film. With the strike, there hasn't been as much opportunity for new work, but I'm hoping that will change soon. I've had a lot of auditions, so we'll see. But right now, focused on Mary Good Enough.
Joel?
I travel all over the US and Canada doing a live show, Who's Live Anyway? It's a live Whose Lines It Anyway show with some of the original guys. And I do that about 130 days a year. And hopefully there's going to be some auditions coming all of a sudden now that the strike has been okayed and it's been ended. And I don't know, you never know what's next. That's the interesting thing about this job. And just got to enjoy the times you're unemployed.
And finally, Dan.
I think once this movie rolls out on the 19th, I'm gonna go enjoy Christmas with my family and breathe for a while for the first time in a year or so.
Well
Yeah.
deserved. Well deserved.
Most excellent. Well, everyone, it's a pleasure carrying this conversation with you, and it's great to meet you. So happy holidays to all of you.
You too, Gary. Where are you? California?
I'm in Fresno, California. I'm just right down in the foothills of Yosemite.
Beautiful Fresno. We
Which
get
is
there.
little cold, little snow there. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.